G'day guys, Briz Productions here at the beautiful Adelaide Convention Centre here in Adelaide, currently attending AVCon. What is AVCon, you reckon? I'm going to tell you. So behind these magical doors is where all the magic happens. AVCon happens to be an Adelaide video game convention which has been around for many years right now, currently supported by the local council, the Adelaide City Council here in Adelaide, the University of South Australia and also Shin Tokyo, the best anime store in this beautiful city. Now, if you look on our social media posts, we're going to be showing you very good interviews right now with some of Adelaide's greatest cosplays and also some of the international guests as well. But behind these magical doors is where AVCon happens. The best merchandise, the best deals you can possibly get than anywhere else. And even some of the best video game tournaments you could ever see. So let's go take a look, shall we? Welcome to AVCon. What the? How did it get changed so quick? You gotta catch them all. Ladies and gentlemen, from Briz Productions, welcome to AVCon. OMG, how can this day get any better? Ladies and gentlemen, if you can see behind me, that's it, Nintendo. One of the greatest video game companies in the world right now, currently here at AVCon, here in Adelaide, promoting their brand new Nintendo Switch. Even though it has been 2 or 3 years since the console was first introduced to the world, ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you right now, it is amazing. I own one myself, and if you are going to get anything, a transportable console, you have to buy the Nintendo Switch. But right now here at AVCon, Nintendo have currently been promoting the console, not only with that, with their beautiful games that they got with it, such as The Legend of Zelda, Pokemon Go, Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, and you can name it, ladies and gentlemen. Right here at AVCon, it's just amazing. Nintendo, one of the greatest companies, have actually contributed to this local community here in Adelaide, and they look forward to see what we can do. So let's go take a look. Doesn't matter if you win or lose, but here at the Nintendo Switch area, you can have a fun time with all your fantastic mates, even some of your video games from back in the day. They've still got them out, so come down to the Nintendo Switch area and have lots of fun. G'day guys, we're in Finna World's Tattoo here at AVCon and we're joined with
Cade and
Paul. G'day you two. Mate, if I just ask you, what are you doing getting a tattoo here for, mate?
Well, to be honest, I love tattoos and I love attention, so this is perfect for me.
That's very good. And what design have you gone with right now, my friend?
I'm a huge Fallout fan. I love Brotherhood of Steel. So sat down with Paul one day and we tossed some ideas around, and he went off and worked, and we created this beautiful piece of work. It's a made-up character, no NPCs or anything like that. It's just a made-up Fallout character, dominated Deathclaw and explosion in the background. I don't know. It's a bunch of Fallout stuff thrown into one, and it's beautiful.
It's fun. Some tattoos don't have no meaning. You just think of it. Yep, on the skin it goes.
Yeah, that's it.
And how long do you think it will take for your friend over here to finish that whole outlining?
We probably won't be finished today.
I think we'll finish most of it. Most of it will be done.
That is amazing. Gee. Yeah, if you guys take a look for yourself, it's a really good design here, and you can see besides the blood, the colour looks fantastic.
Yeah, I'm a bleeder. I'm a bleeder for sure.
Oh, gee, that is amazing. All right, thank you both, you two, for joining us. So not everything does go according to plan here at AVCon or anywhere in the world when it comes to a convention. Cosplayers these days have a lot in common, and that is the way of harassment and sexual assault here. So we're joined by Megan Louise Cosplay, who's going to tell us about more. So Megan, would you please tell us a little bit more, please?
Well, I am with a non-for-profit organisation called the Cosplay Sentinels, and we are basically here at AVCon to prevent any kind of sexual harassment, sexual assault, just any kind of bad things that may go on to people that are cosplaying and also that aren't cosplaying.
So you've done cosplay for many, many years now, and what can you tell us what kind of experience have you experienced when it comes to being in cosplay?
I've had good and bad experiences, as I'm sure every cosplayer has. More good than bad, but unfortunately there has been bad ones happen where I've had people take inappropriate photos of me or maybe not necessarily ask my consent for photos. So that's why I feel like the Cosplay Sentinels is really, really great. We have our anti-harassment policy in check, so if anyone does have those bad situations, they've got somewhere safe to come.
And that is a really good thing, because I'm a cosplayer myself most of the time when I'm doing conventions here in Adelaide or anywhere around the world, and I do really have that sometimes of thing as well. If you're a photographer, make sure you have permission from these cosplayers before you do anything, and do not create anything whatsoever, because they might not be appropriate shots, or they're just not used to being around so many people, which is a good thing of asking them before doing anything else. But tell us, if you could tell us, where can we find this whole thing, if we may ask you, on social media, websites, or etc.?
I'm pretty sure it's just the Facebook page, so if you look up Cosplay Sentinels through Facebook, you will find us all there, I think. I'm sorry, I don't know. Check quickly.
It's very fine, thank you. But thank you for joining us. So it is a really good advisement here at the beautiful cons for conventions and anything else in particular. So if you're a cosplayer and you don't know if there's something that's going around you, make sure you come to these people right over here. They can help you out, no worries, so this doesn't ever happen to you. Besides the exhibition hall being the main attraction of the whole entire convention, there is so much in particular of these magnificent local artists that have done so much from their imaginations, and it's homemade. Just so much of these fantastic and magnificent people have done. It's just amazing. Let's go take a look, shall we? So guys, we're right now with Sophie, who's have got this. Oh, sorry.
Backwards, it's on.
It's on, all right. So guys, right now we're joined with Sophie right now, one of the magnificent artists of this particular artist area. And so Sophie, what have you shown us for the rest of us for this weekend?
So I'm a paper crafter, so I mainly make notebooks, and I've started making pop-up cards for this weekend.
That's amazing. And how long have you been doing this right now, if we may ask you?
Probably about 3 years now.
Fantastic. And you're Adelaide based here, or? Oh, that's magnificent. And can you please tell us, how did you make these little cards over here? Like, what kind of material did you use?
So they're all made from cardstock. So I have a machine that cuts all the designs for me and then glue them together.
And how long does this process usually take? Like maybe a few hours, or?
For each card, probably about an hour each.
That's amazing. And right now, as we are here right now, this magnificent store, how much are you selling for these right now?
They're $6.
$6? And how about for these big notebooks that are in front of us right now?
So those ones cost a bit more because they're made out of fabric, so they're $25.
That's amazing. And see what you can do, ladies and gentlemen, homemade. You can't find anywhere else. And this is what we like to see. Beautiful artists right here. And come look, it's just magnificent of what you can find. You can't find anywhere in stores. Just magnificent of homemade designs right here in your local town. So give the local people a chance and help them out. They love to show what they can create for you and for anybody in particular. If you're not a gamer expert or anything else in particular, or a big fan, if you're a photographer based in Adelaide, why not come down to a convention where you can show off your good work of capturing nice, beautiful cosplayers, but also some of the best areas of the whole con. Come and show what you can show off. For example, we're going to talk with a man right now. So let's go. So guys, we are now joined with a very good special visitor, also one of the most talented photographers you can find here anywhere here in Adelaide, in the cosplay community. It's Mr. Steam Kittens. How you going, my friend?
I'm very good. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Mate, for those people who don't know who you are, just can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a creative and cosplay photographer from Adelaide. I started in about late 2012 and sort of really kind of fell into it.
That's really amazing. For many of those in particular, like your shots have inspired many cosplayers around this country as well, even the international guests as well. And how do you feel when people look at your photos and they say thank you for the magnificent work you have done for them?
It is very humbling because I've always been unsure about my own abilities in photography. So to get that sort of affirmation is very nice. You take photos and you want to create, beautiful photos, and I've always wanted to create photos that weren't just pictures of people in costume. I wanted to create characters, and the feedback I get from people is just overwhelmingly positive when they see their photos.
That's really good, because we just recently came from your panel just today, and very inspiring for most other people that didn't know about the whole story and the process about it. But can you please just tell us, for those viewers, where did the name Steam Kittens come from?
Well, when I started photography, when I first bought a camera, I started volunteering for the local animal welfare society, and for 5 years all I did was take photos of cats and dogs for an adoption site. And so when I finally decided to get into cosplay photography, I had to come up with a name. And coming up with a name is one of the hardest things you can do. So I threw different words together, and so I took steampunk, which I quite like the aesthetic. I don't think I've ever dressed in steampunk, and mixed it with a few words, and I mixed it with kittens to hark back to the fact that I was an animal welfare photographer, so I got the name Steam Kittens.
That's actually really, really good. But if I may ask you, what is the most favourite photo shoot you've ever done so far in your years of photography?
Ooh, that is tough. I've done a lot. I did a photo shoot in Denmark at a castle. Just because of the location, it was this, you don't get locations like that in Australia. So that was pretty amazing. I did a critical role shoot late last year at St. Peter's Cathedral, and I really loved the results of that. But it is very hard to narrow down.
Thank you for joining us, my friend, and hope you have a wonderful time here.
Cheers, thank you very much.
There's so much stuff you can find here, and just amazing cosplayers, ladies and gentlemen. That's the whole point of this whole weekend is about. So what is your name, if we may ask you, please?
I'm Sunset Valley Cosplay on Instagram.
Oh, that's very good. And what have you dressed up for today?
I'm Aunt Akamaki, or Panther from Persona 5.
That is actually really, really good, and so much. Did you make this yourself, or?
No, I actually bought this, but I did make the boots covers as well, and well, you can't really see them. And then I did have a tail, but I left it at home. But I made that too.
Don't worry, we'll show you the whole thing on the photo that we just took, ladies and gentlemen, so be look on for that. And what are you expecting for this whole weekend for the cosplay community in general?
Oh, just to have fun, you know, drama-free, like just having a good time, like, you know, like taking photos, getting merch, you know, watching panels, like, it's all it's about, just having fun, really.
Thank you so much. So guys, this is what everyone came to see. Besides the cosplayers, besides all the merchandise, and besides the guests that arrived here at AVCon, ladies and gentlemen, right behind me is the AEL, aka the Australian eSports League. Now, this is where some of the best video games in Adelaide come to meet, dueling against each other. But right now, today, as you can see, University of South Australia and the Adelaide University team are competing with each other right now. 5 members on each of those teams, which is 2 teams right now, playing against Call of Duty as we speak. Now, the boys are preparing, they're ready to go, but this is the most entertaining thing I've ever seen right now. Just so much video games from all over the state have come down here just to play for this weekend in their university team. It's just amazing to be here. And you can learn so much stuff right now that's happening that you can't find anywhere else.
Rise, cutting my size, trying to make sense of it all comprised. Yeah, highs, bending these skies. Never stuck down, feeling paralyzed, but I'm up now. We all too late to fall. You ain't wanna come in, I'ma lift them all. Never look down when this risk involved. They got guts, gotta learn, I gotta wish it all. Ain't got no feelings, we just floating.
Guys, we're still here at beautiful AVCon, and like I mentioned, cosplay is the number one thing that make this whole convention so worthwhile. And we're joined by old Trenchy over here, who's dressed up. You don't have to really say anything. Master Chief from Halo. How's it going, my friend?
Oh, it's going well. It's very warm. It's having fun as well. Yeah, so good.
That is amazing. And how long have you been attending conventions right now, my friend?
11 years, I think. Yeah, this is actually my 11th AVCon.
Oh, that's
11th in a row.
That is amazing. And was this your first ever convention that you ever attended, or was it another?
Yeah, AVCon was my very first convention back in 2009, and that got the ball rolling for me.
That is amazing. And mate, right now, Master Chief Halo looks amazing as we speak. How long? Tell us, what kind of material is this thing made out of?
EVA foam floor mats, the type of stuff you buy at Bunnings.
As we can feel, it is actually a really good foam, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, if I recall, a few years back, we had Master Chief Halo himself come to Adelaide. Did you ever get to meet this guy?
Yes, I did. I actually got to do a photo shoot with him for the advertiser. With him and with Steve Downs, voice of Master Chief, and the voice of Cortana, Jen Taylor. So we got to do a photo shoot on the Friday for the newspaper, and that was so lovely. Jet lagged, but lovely.
That is amazing. And throughout the whole entire, you've done so much conventions and cosplay. What is your favorite cosplay you have ever done in your life?
My favorite. Look, Master Chief is a handy go-to all the time. It's bulky, impressive. It's easy to wear and repair. I think my all-time favourite might actually be Leonardo, Ninja Turtle.
Love it. One of my favourite Ninja Turtles as well. But my favourite one of yours I was impressed by was the mighty Transformer himself, Optimus Prime.
Yes. Oh, that's another favourite. Yeah, that's a kind of labour of love, that one. And that one got me to meet the legend himself, Peter Cullen. So, yeah.
That is amazing, because I can imagine, because that was my first ever convention attending 2014. And I remember, I never got to meet him, unfortunately. My first ever con, didn't have enough cash, but I saw him, good enough, there's the guy himself. And so much of he's done so much throughout his whole entire career. And if I may ask you, which is the most challenging one you've ever done in your life?
Most challenging might actually be the Optimus. Just trying to construct something that large and be able to wear it. I can only last an hour or something like that. But yeah, I think that was an engineering feat, that one.
Well, that's actually really lot to see. Oh, well, thank you for joining us here, my friend, and have a good time at the convention. As we just mentioned, the whole purpose of the merchandise that was available here at AVCon, we also talked about the local merchandise that you can find by the local artists here in this magnificent town of Adelaide. But why not come see the local theatre group here, the community centre, right here at the Adelaide Convention Centre. Right in there is where all the magic happens of the local communities of how they can connect together when it comes to sports or fan interest in particular. So let's go in and let's go take a look, shall we? As we just mentioned, the local community here in Adelaide, there's so much to do of the local community members that are here for outdoor curricular activities, but we are joined right now
Micah, Alex,
and they represent the Adelaide, so if you can say it again, sorry, the Adelaide Quidditch?
Auguries Quidditch.
Oh, Auguries Quidditch, so sorry ladies and gentlemen. But look, you're thinking of the Quidditch, yes, it is Harry Potter themed, as we all know today, but it happens to be a world general sport. These girls will talk about more, so we'll kick it away with you first.
So it started about 10 years ago in America, where they adapted it from the book. Is spread all around the world, probably about 40 countries or so. At the top of the league, we have the World Cup every 2 years. That filters down to UK Premier League, European League, American League, and Nationals here in Australia.
Very good. As we all know, it is though from based off the book, as we all know, one of the greatest franchises of all time, the Warner Brothers, Harry Potter, as we all speak. So can you please tell us a little bit about what is expected through this match and throughout this game of Quidditch as we know here in the real world?
Just playing with boys and girls. We do a lot of full contact. We playing with this ball, which is the quaffle. It's a volleyball, so it's passing and put some goals. Sorry.
If you guys can't see it, but let me pick it up. I'll show you. Just a plain regular volleyball here. And we got a dodgeball here. And what's the dodgeball represent in the game?
So that is the bludger. So the beaters use the dodgeball essentially like the game of dodgeball. No bats in the real world because it's too dangerous. So we throw the bludger at opponents as a defense tactic. They are temporarily tagged out of the game because everyone has to be on one of these, which is a broom. So if we didn't have the brooms, it wouldn't be Harry Potter. But essentially the role of the broom is to show who's in play and who's not. So if you get hit by the bludger, you have to run back to your hoops, tag it, rejoin in the game, then you can go back to helping trying to score the goals, etc. Or if you're a beater, trying to beat out the other beaters.
It makes sense. If you're making sure where the hoop is, ladies and gentlemen, the hoop's right behind us. Sorry you can't see it, it's camouflage, but yeah. But then the question is though, what is the golden snitch of the whole entire real world game?
So the golden snitch is a person. So they will be all dressed in yellow. They'll have a snitch ball attached to the back of them, and the role of the seeker is to catch that snitch. Now they can't impede their movement. They have to be very agile and quick and reach around and grab that snitch. When the snitch is caught, the game can end, but it's only worth 30 points, which means if you're down by 40 points, you don't want to be grabbing that snitch because you'll end the game, but you won't win it.
That's really good. And where can we find you girls, if we may? Social media or something?
We have a Facebook page, Adelaide Auguries Quidditch Club. We also have a website and an Instagram account. We train every Sunday afternoon at Benithan Park here in the city. We have a couple of other teams around Adelaide as well, so look us up on the Facebook and get in contact if you want to come out.
All right, we'll take a look at it. Well, thank you for joining us here on Briz Productions. If you grew up in the 70s, 80s and the 90s, AVCon has got that covered for you. If you're not familiar with some of the gaming consoles that they are today, such as Xbox, PlayStation, even some of the Nintendo Switches here and there, you cannot beat these original consoles from back in the day. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm rocking out on the Atari. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, the Atari 600. It's like one of the best consoles that ever came out to those days when you were growing up as a kid back in the early days. And let me tell you something. I may be 22 years old, but I still love the old classics. You cannot find that anywhere else in the world. You can't find them in most stores. They don't sell them anymore. So AVCon has got that covered for you. So next year when you do come to AVCon, you got to come down here and play some of your old classics. It will take to you some of those times when you were a kid. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Simple technology, no HDMI cable. And look at the controllers back then. Now, this was something I loved when I used to play sometimes those reruns back in the other conventions here and there. Just with the one stick and the button. Now, that's something you don't see every day, and this is something that kids these days won't know. Look, I cannot be over this, ladies and gentlemen. Like, look at some of the games that Atari ever did back in those days. For example, E.T., one of the classic games, ladies and gentlemen. Come down next year to AVCon and take you back to rewind back in time of what the technology was back in those days and the gaming world. So take a look on this for next year if you do come to AVCon. If you want to know much more about your guests that attended your convention, why not come to the Q&As where you can ask more questions and ask them from your personal point of view that you couldn't ask if you was getting autographs or not. They're kind enough to take any questions that you possibly want. Just make sure you do not do anything that's inappropriately whatsoever or offend them in any kind of way possible. And of course, you cannot be what's happening right behind me, ladies and gentlemen, and that is the cosplay competition here at AVCon. As you can see right now, many cosplayers from this amazing city of Adelaide are competing right now to show off their magnificent creation whatsoever. Now, the main thing is, it's not all about winning or losing. It's all about having fun and getting part of the local culture of the whole cosplaying world. Now, the main thing is that they always say to you, cosplay does not have to be from scratch and you don't have to make it all. You can also buy a costume. That's what it's all about. They don't care what you do unless the costume you're in looks fantastic. It's what you did and what you learned from it. As you can see right behind me, it's where the main stage is, where it all happens. Many of the cosplayers in particular here in this beautiful town have done it so well that they're showing off to this magnificent group of people right now. There's over nearly 50 people in there right now who are interested to know about the magnificent stories behind all these magnificent stories of these magnificent costumes. If you're not a big fan of any of the electronic video games there are here today, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. AVCon's also got that covered for you. If you like the old playing cards, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, or even some of the fantastic games that are out there like Cards Against Humanity, what do you mean? We've got that covered here at beautiful AVCon here. Just come down in the beautiful workshop here and you can have fun with no electronics, just a beautiful set of cards and your imagination. And let me tell you something, I'm loving this beautiful wall right now as we speak. Yu-Gi-Oh! For life.
You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up.
So guys, we're joined with another cosplayer this very weekend. We caught up with old Trenchy yesterday, and we caught up with another one in particular who I forgot her name, but she looked really good yesterday in her fantastic shots. But right now we're joined by Megan Louise Cosplay. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Very good. And so if I may ask you, what are you dressed for this weekend today here at AVCon?
I am dressed as Poison Ivy.
Ah, very good. I'm a Batman fan myself, and let me tell you something, Poison Ivy dominated one of those movies, let me tell you.
Yes, she did.
Alrighty, so how long have you been cosplaying right now as we speak?
Oh, I've been cosplaying, 5-6 years, I think, at this point. It's a long blur.
Yeah, that's a very, very long time indeed. And if I may ask you, what is your favourite cosplay that you've ever done?
Oh, this is always such a hard question because I love so many of them. I love my wrestling cosplays. They are very, very niche here in Australia, especially in Adelaide. But my Finn Balor, if anyone doesn't know who he is, look him up. I was actually sponsored to do that, which I feel like is a very big deal for someone to be like, we'll pay you to make this cosplay. So probably Finn Balor.
That is actually really good because she might not know this, but 2 years ago when she did cosplay as Balor, I was dressed up as Jeff Hardy on Supernova weekend. So there will be a photo showing up of how we did it, both on that day. But my favourite one besides Finn Balor was also Nikki Bella.
Yeah, I love a good Nikki Bella cosplay.
No, that was actually one of my favourites as well. But if I might ask you, out of all the cosplays you've done, what was the most difficult one you've ever done in your life?
Oh, Probably, if anyone's familiar with, going to go very niche again, with Drag Race or Drag Queens, my Trixie Mattel, that wig that I wear for that is almost 2 kilos on my head. I pulled it apart many times to try and make it and style it, so probably that one.
Jeez, my God, I would not want to be that. But what are you looking forward to here at AVCon this weekend?
I just love to look around, see everybody's cosplays, love to get photos done, check out Artist Alley, all the amazing artists that are set down there. So yeah, I just love, I don't know, having a good look around, really.
That's very good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You make me move, you make me dance, you make my heart beat super fast. You lift me up, you make me laugh. Baby, you're the best I ever had. You're the best I ever had. You're the best I ever had.
Well, I guess that's it. AVCon is officially over for 2019. What a weekend it has been, ladies and gentlemen. There's so many thank yous right now. Firstly, to you lovely people for supporting us and our social media network. It means so much to us here at Briz Productions. Thank you so much in particular for watching these videos. And also, firstly, thanks to AVCon for providing us with a media pass this weekend for as a media personnel. Thank you to our lovely guests who have joined us in this amazing video that you're currently watching, and also on our other videos for our special guests such as DC Douglas, Paul St. Peter, Zuma Blackheart, and also Dad's Workshop Cosplay for joining us here on Briz Productions. There is so much, and also thank you towards the sponsors as well who made this event happen, such as the Adelaide City Council, the University of South Australia, the Adelaide Convention Centre, Madman Entertainment, and also, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot forget Nintendo, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for supporting us. And also here in Adelaide, the best anime store here in Adelaide, Shin Tokyo. Now, we want to do this in the future as well to make you guys happy. This is what you wanted. Briz Productions on the sites, on anything, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us here. I'm Briz, and we are out. I don't know what happened to the Avengers, but I'm out of here.